1.
Hello, and welcome to Running Things, the resilient spirit of a leader. You know what? I'm going to be here every Thursday at 2 o'clock. Every Thursday at 2 o'clock, giving you 15 minutes of inspiration for ministry leaders, entrepreneurs, and community leaders. And you know what we'll be coming out of? We'll be coming out of my new devotion, Running Things, the resilient spirit of a leader. And today, guess what we're talking about? Leadership. So like, share, invite a friend, tag somebody, tell them to come on that Pastor T is on and she's talking about leadership today. So for you all that don't know, I am Teresa McCurry, Senior Pastor of New Beginnings Ministries. I'm also an international Bible teacher, an inspirational international speaker, and I'm also an international author. And I am the CIO, Chief Inspirational Officer of Super T Inspires. Yes, Super T Inspires. And Super T Inspires offers holistic solutions for ministry leadership, for self-care, and for kingdom development. And today we are talking about leadership. And I was looking through the book. On page 22, it says, leadership is an unselfish ability to inspire, encourage, and to stimulate individuals or groups towards a common objective. And in a nutshell, my simple definition of leadership is to influence others. So if you're influencing others, you are a leader. Whether you want to be a leader or not, if you're influencing somebody. So if you got some kids at home and you're influencing them as their mama, you are a leader. If you're at work and you're influencing your co-workers, you are a leader. One thing that really gets me is like professional athletes, and they say, I don't want to be a role model. It's not whether you want to be a role model, you are. Because people are watching you and they are being influenced by you. So it's important for you to take that role and responsibility seriously as a leader. Because as a leader, you can direct the course of the sphere of influence that you have, and the people are watching you. So I know that one of my God-given abilities is to inspire others. So if you come and you share an idea with me, the Holy Spirit downloads all this information, and I'm able to share with you creative ways to make that ideal come and become a reality. So with that being said, I just wanted to give you like about 3 points about leadership. So if you don't have your book Running Things, I suggest that you go out and get your book Running Things so you can follow along with me. So with that being said, when it comes to leadership, you want to understand your leadership style. So in understanding your leadership style, there's a dominant leader. There's a avoider, a leader that avoids. There's also a leader that collaborates and a leader that accommodates. So think about that. They're self-explanatory. What kind of leader are you? And in being a leader, you want to know what your leadership style is. So if you're a leader that dominates, that means you kind of take over. So when you think about leadership is the visionary. They're the one who has the vision. And then you have people that manage. So when you have your managers as a leader, you could be a micromanager or you could be a macro manager. So when you know that you're a leader, you are a dominator, you are an avoider, or you are a collaborator, or you are a accommodator. I don't have time to go into all that. We'll go into that later. But actually, if you join my group leadership coaching, we'll go into all of those on session number 1. So that's something that I will be offering soon, a group leadership coaching to kind of help you navigate and become a better leader. In leadership, you are a role model. I talked about the athletes. You're a role model whether you want to be a role model or not. And in being a role model, you need to lead by example. So don't tell somebody, remember when we were younger, they would say, do what I say and not what I do. That's not going to fly as a leader. You have to be the example. You have to be the role model. You have to set the tone for the organization, set the tone for the company, set the tone for the ministry. Because whatever you do, that's what the people are going to do under you. When they say every seed reproduces after its own kind. So if you are a leader that's a procrastinator, you're going to attract people that will procrastinate. If you're a leader that gets the job done, you're going to attract people that get the job done. So you reproduce after your own kind. So whatever seed you sow, that's the harvest that you're going to reap. So in being a leader, it's important to be mindful and know that some things you have to tweak. Some things you'll have to change about yourself that doesn't come naturally. But you always want to lead by an example. You don't want to be the leader that sits there and say, oh, you do this and you do that and you do this, but you never get out the chair. You want to say, okay, I need y'all to sweep the floor. Get up, grab a broom, grab a dustpan, help them to sweep the floor. So whatever it is that you're asking somebody to do, don't think that that's beneath you as a leader. You need to do it as well. So that's leading by example. Another point for leadership is to be passionate about whatever you're doing as a leader. I remember coming up and my grandmother used to say, whatever you do, you be the best at it. If you're going to be a street sweeper, you be the best street sweeper that there is. If you're going to be a door holder, you be the best door holder that there is. So whatever you're going to do, if you're going to sweep the floor, if you're going to hold the door, you want to be the best. And you want to be passionate about that thing that you're doing, because as a leader, when you're passionate about it, people feel your passion. And then they're more likely to come around and want to be a part of whatever it is that you're doing. Why? Because they feel the passion. They feel the energy. They feel the excitement. And when you're excited and you're passionate about somebody, people want to be on your team. They want you to lead them. They want, show us the way. Show us the way. So in being a leader, you want to be passionate about it. And also you want to be able to listen and communicate effectively. So being a leader, that means I have to listen to hear what my team is saying. And then I also have to communicate my needs effectively. So when you're communicating, you want to communicate clearly. You want to communicate concisely. And then you want to get feedback to make sure what you're communicating is exactly what's been heard. Because if you don't do that, somebody can walk away thinking that you said one thing and that's not what you said. That's not what you meant. So in being a leader, you have to communicate effectively and listen effectively as well. So you want to be a good listener and a good communicator. And lastly, you want to encourage people to make contributions. I've learned over the years, I don't know if you've ever been a part of an organization, but a lot of nonprofit organizations, they have something called strategic planning. And when nonprofit organizations have strategic planning, they get input from everybody in the room. Not just the president, not just the CEO, not just the founder or the secretary. Everybody in the room gets to put their input in. And then if you have a good facilitator facilitating your strategic planning, they take all of that information, put it in a pot together, and find a place for everybody's input. Because as a leader, if people feel like their contributions are being heard, or you encourage people to contribute, that makes them feel a part of. That makes them want to be a part of. So if I said, I think that we should make this back of this book cover orange. And then somebody said, oh no, I think we can make the book cover blue. And then somebody else said, you know what, I think we can make the book cover yellow. And then I've heard everything that everybody contributed, and we had an orange, blue, and a yellow book cover. Everybody that's involved feels a part of it. And they was like, oh wow, they used my suggestion. It's orange. They used my suggestion. It's blue. And we have a touch of yellow. So that's what I mean when I say encourage people to make contributions. Another example, I remember when we first started having Bible study at our church. So when we first started having Bible study, the person would just teach. Everybody say praise the Lord and leave. And then it came a point in time where somebody was teaching and they started asking questions and soliciting questions in the midst of the Bible study. And people really appreciated that. They wanted to share their input. They wanted to ask questions. They wanted to be involved. So that's a part of making contributions. So as a leader and you're leading people, it's important to encourage them to make contributions. Because if I make a contribution and you put that contribution in action, that makes me feel a part of. That makes me feel like, wow, they heard what I said. This is really, I found my tribe. This is my people. So it's important for wanted you to do that. So hopefully you learned something today. Hopefully you've gotten you a accountability partner, and you guys are going through this devotional together because it's funner with two people, and you're writing your thoughts in and you're sharing them with each other and going over those day number 7 reflections. So just to do a brief overview about what we talked about today, the overarching theme is leadership. And in being an effective leader, first you want to understand your leadership style. And in understanding your leadership style, we gave you 4 styles. Didn't go into definition of them because they're self-explanatory. So 1 is the dominator. That's a leader that dominates. 2, the avoider. That's a leader that avoids confrontation at all costs. And if you're a leader that avoids confrontation at all costs, that's not a good thing, because you're going to constantly have train wrecks all around you. Then there's the collaborator. I feel like I'm the collaborator leader because I always try to bring people in and help them do things. And there's the accommodator. So those are the 4 leadership styles that we're talking about today. Depending on where you research, I found up to 10 different leadership styles, but it depends on whose leadership styles you're looking at to find out a leadership style that works for you. Then I made mention of management. Managers, the leader is the visionary, the manager sees to the details. So as the manager sees to the details, you can have a micromanager or you can have a macro manager. And it's important to find out how people want to be managed. So let's park right there for a minute. A micromanager means that I am totally hands off. I'm going to give you the task and I'm going to let you do it. Micro, little bit of attention, little bit. Then the macro manager means I'm hands on with you. So when you're managing people, I remember I had my salon, Mimi's Hair, having a spa. And I had a young lady that was very smart, very intelligent, a college student, but I was a micromanager and she needed macro management. Now, I was at the point where I was about to let her go because she wasn't doing what needed to be done. And then I seen something and I said, okay, she maybe needs micromanaging. So in micromanaging her, I would write a to-do list for her. Every day, I would come into the salon. This is your to-do list as the administrative assistant. This is what needs to be done. That's micromanaging. And then she needed more micromanaging because she can look at the to-do list, but she couldn't prioritize what was a priority. So then I would say, these are 1, 2, and 3. So I give her 10 things to do, right? 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3 needs to be done today. Not tomorrow, not next week. 1, 2, and 3 needs to be done today. That's part of the micromanaging. 1 part, I gave her a to-do list. 2, I prioritized that to-do list. And do you know, we worked happily ever after for so many years after that, because me being a macro manager, giving you free rule, and she needing micromanaging, I had to shift my management style to accommodate her working style. So know that as a leader. Then you want to be a role model. You want to lead by example. So I was willing to sit down and go over those things with her line by line, precept upon precept, to help her get to where it is that she needed to be. I also talked about being passionate. You want to be passionate about what it is that you do. Because if you don't have the passion, the money, before the money ever comes, you'll be burnt out. You'll be tired. You won't want to do it. I will service clients doing their hair for free because it's just what I love to do. Thank God I get paid for it, but I would do it for free if I had to. And lastly, you want to encourage people to contribute. So if you're working with a team, you want to encourage them to give you their input. You want to encourage them to help with the process. I hope you guys had a good time. My 15 minutes is up. I want to thank you for yours. Again, I am Senior Pastor Teresa McCurry, CIO, Chief Inspirational Officer of Super T Inspires. And I'll be here every Thursday at 2 p.m. to give you 15 minutes of inspiration out of my book, the daily devotional, weekly devotional, Running Things, the resilient spirit of an entrepreneur. See you next Thursday.